Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're having a great or wonderful day. Well, what we have here is just the complete insanity of, the Democrats trying to replace Joe Biden. I mean, this is that's coming up here, and I kind of want to show it to you guys in full force. As the Democrats are scrambling to do away with Joe Biden due to the horrendous debate that happened, that made Joe Biden look like a fool, it seems that it's more along the lines of they're trying to get rid of him as quickly as possible. And since there's a few reasons for that, I'm going to go over it. So what we have here is that the second Democratic Congress member declares no confidence in Biden's 2024 candidacy, says Trump is going to win. So Tuesday afternoon, just one sitting congressional Democrat, Representative Lloyd Doggett of Texas, had a call on Biden to bow out of the race, and another representative, Jared Golden of Maine, suggested it did not matter since it has been clear for months Donald Trump is going to win. So, a lot of the Democrats are talking about wanting to replace Biden, and I'm really curious on to who they want to replace Biden with, because there isn't really any options. To be honest with you guys here, there is not very many options, because what their options comes down to Gavin Newsom, Kamala Harris, Whitney Graham, I think that's what you would want to call her, and then you have Michelle Obama. And I don't think any of these candidates are even remotely good enough to stand up against Trump. I don't think they're remotely good enough to stand up against almost anyone, because now you're not going to grab any of the Republicans or what have you for these people. Nobody knows them, and if they do know them, they don't like them. So, yeah, it's not great. And we have this here. White House responds to report Biden told ally he's weighing dropping out of race. So, yeah, President Biden is seriously considering whether he can continue on as the Democratic presidential nominee, according to a report. The New York Times on Wednesday reported that Biden has told a key ally that he knows that he may not be able to win re-election if he cannot convince the American people he is fit to serve after his disastrous debate performance. The president, who the ally emphasized is still deeply in the fight for re-election, understands that his next few appearances heading into the holiday weekend, including an interview scheduled for Friday with George Stephanopoulos of ABC News, and campaign stops in Pennsylvania and Wisconsin, must go well, the report said. So, yeah, they're desperately trying to find a way to replace Joe Biden, because he is old and senile, and they just don't want him anymore. Again, we have more here. It says, revealed, the only Democrat who could beat Trump, and they have not campaigned for Biden as calls grow for President 81 to drop out of race. So, yeah, there's a lot of these calls going on. And here's the thing, guys. Who do they have as an option? And I'm going to be showing you some videos here in a moment here about what their options are. Because I have a few videos, few clips, showing on who would be the best possible candidate for them, and they have nothing. Again, CNN data analyst gives blunt warning to Biden after poor polling. I don't know how he wins, and yeah, I don't see how he wins either. And here's one thing from Gavin Newsom, right? I'm going to be showing you guys. Here's the one thing from Gavin Newsom that pretty much shows how incapable he is. Like, it's really quite sad, honestly. He gets destroyed by this news anchor, and if he gets destroyed by this news anchor, how does he beat Trump? It doesn't make any sense.
California during COVID.
Yeah, I think we all were working on information at the time. We had no basis of deeply understanding the virus. I think they did the same thing.
So you didn't know anything, so why'd you shut the beaches?
States like Florida.
If you didn't know anything, why'd you shut the beaches?
Well, we didn't know. Yeah, because people were concerned early in the pandemic. Information was coming out as it relates to how it was transferred, the disease, and people were cautious, trying to keep people alive. And I should say this,
so
Adam,
you didn't let them go in the
health, wealth,
sunshine and get vitamin
California
D
outperformed.
and exercise, so you shut the beaches. Okay. And you arrested a guy who was paddleboarding in the bay.
On health, wealth, and
yeah, any
it's always
science
good to see
behind
Adam.
that? Any science
we're
at
all
all behind
geniuses
shutting
in
outdoor
hindsight.
dining? Why'd you
We're all
shut down outdoor dining?
Go ahead, go.
Science?
It's good to see Adam.
Based on science,
look,
you didn't
at the end of the day, the debate tonight.
It's not a debate. You shut
I'm
down
looking
outdoor
forward to the
dining.
debate,
You canceled
compare and
businesses.
contrast
Had
tonight.
nothing to do with science.
All right, let him finish.
Keep lying. All right, go ahead.
All this happened in the.
And of course, when it comes to confrontation, which Gavin Newsom cannot do quite well, he literally shuts down and he tries to walk away as quickly as possible because he can't handle confrontation.
Seemed out of patience.
Deficit, $522 million.
Yeah, it's a big deficit.
What does this mean?
Just
Layoffs?
a big deficit, a lot of work ahead of us.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, we just got a lot of work ahead of us, big deficit.
At the end, he couldn't leave the room fast enough.
Off the record, I'm amazingly disappointed. Amazingly. I just am, personally, you know?
So yeah, it's not great. And of course, as you see here, he really did arrest a paddleboarder. Like, take a look at this. He arrested a paddleboarder during the coronavirus incident. So the anchor that he was talking about was not lying. And of course, he gets destroyed by Ron DeSantis, which after he dropped out of the presidential race because he wasn't even coming close to winning. In fact, I think he was actually losing to Vivek Ramaswamy. So, he doesn't do good. And then, of course, we have this from Gavin Newsom. He just cannot stop catching these L's because he constantly, he has a former aide to Gavin Newsom arrested on domestic violence charges. And of course, it goes on to say here that a former political advisor to Gavin Newsom and well-known Democratic strategist was arrested in October on charges of domestic violence and child abuse, including an alleged attempt to suffocate a 4-year-old child with a pillow, according to the Napa County Sheriff's Office. So, he has a lot of baggage, and his state is falling apart. It's not great. And, of course, we have this from Zero Hedge saying, Obama privately voiced concerns on Biden election path, WAPO, game over. And then, finally, we would have this from Colin Rugg saying, Barack Obama is worried Biden will lose the 2024 election, has a much harsher tone behind closed doors than what he has said publicly. According to the Washington Post, Obama is voicing his concerns to close allies. Close allies, my apologies. Former President Barack Obama has privately told allies who have reached out to him that President Biden's already tough path to reach re-election grew more challenging after his shaky debate performance on Thursday. A harsher assessment of the presidential race than his public comments, according to several people familiar with his remarks. The development comes after Obama had previously spoken with Biden about Trump's political trends going into the election. And here we have this from, if it's going to be, from Kamala Harris, well, here's all the crazy and stupid stuff that she has said so far, at least a couple of clips of what Kamala Harris has done so far, and it's just like, it's word salad. You don't understand what she's saying. She just says things to say things, and it makes no sense.
Talking about the significance of the passage of time, right? The significance of the passage of time. So when you think about it, there is great significance to the passage of time in terms of what we need to do to lay these wires, what we need to do to create these jobs. And there is such great significance to the passage of time when we think about a day in the life of our children.
Regardless of that, these are the actual people that we have here. These are the selections. And then let's go do this. This is the actual polls here of leading Democrats fare similarly in head-to-head against Trump. And you have Harris here being, aka Kamala Harris, versus against Trump is likely voters are only 45%, whereas against Trump it's 48%, leading by 3. And then you have obviously Newsom, which is 44%, and Trump is 47%. And he's leading by 3, so it's very similar. And then all the other ones are all by 3%, and they're either 44% or 43%. all of these guys, as you can see here. So obviously, this is not something that they have. They don't have anybody else. They don't have anybody else. Like, their little best bet is just Biden because of all the other issues. Like, they can't go and, you know, donate and give some of the money to the other people because they have to start all over from scratch. They're hard-pressed here, guys. They are terrified, and they're trying to get rid of Biden, but they have nobody that can take over. It's over for the Democrats, and I think that what we're all seeing here is that Democrats are scrambling by and trying to do what's best, as I said in the video, to try to fool Republicans and not vote when they don't have any other options. So I don't know what they're going to do. And Whitmer is also one of their options, and it's still not good. It's at least by 2%. So, again, it's not looking great for them. They are terrified. They want to get rid of somebody. They want to get rid of Joe Biden, but it's not going to work because, well, they have no options. All right, guys, that's it for the video. Let's, guys, share. As always, take care, my friends.
I'm disgusted by what I see in public. Even people closest to us can't be trusted. Cause it's algorithmic disease, the social media.